Good afternoon, and thank you for your attention today. This is the Prevalence, Risk Factors, and Quality of Life Concerning Stress Urinary Incontinence in Female Strength Athletes. My name is Megan Rohde. I'm the principal investigator of this project, affiliated with Franklin Pierce University. The authors have no affiliations or disclosures. The funding for me to attend this conference was through my institution, Franklin Pierce University, and this research was done through Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions in Provo, Utah. Stress incontinence in female athletes has been linked to higher body mass index, greater exercise intensity, high external training load, and the female athlete triad. Exercise can increase the odds of stress incontinence 2.5 to 3 times in female athletes. Stress incontinence in female athletes in general has a wide overall prevalence from 14.3 to 80%. In a study done with Danish national athletes, 51.9% of those complained of urinary incontinence, and of those, 41% participated in basketball, indoor soccer, and track. As urinary stress incontinence increases, the quality of life decreases. Women will report shame, low self-esteem, embarrassment. They may abandon sports participation altogether or change the way that they play with their children. The aims of this study were threefold. We wanted to figure out the scope of the problem of stress incontinence in women who participate in strength sports. We also wanted to identify specific movement patterns or modalities that will elicit an episode of stress incontinence, and we wanted to report on the overall quality of life in female athletes with stress incontinence. We conducted a mixed methods survey and focus group interviews where we sent out the ICIQ short form to women aged 18 to 65 who were members of USA Weightlifting, Powerlifting, or US CrossFit affiliates. We also asked additional demographic questions about age, BMI, sport preference, number of pregnancies and deliveries, types of deliveries, vaginal tears during labor and delivery, frequency and duration of exercise sessions per week, and their perceptions of leakage outside of training. What we found was that we only got a 5% response rate. The predominant responders were those that competed in Olympic weightlifting. There was a moderate positive correlation between parity and the interference of urinary leakage with everyday life, and between urine leakage during exercise and urine leakage outside of exercise, as well as urine leakage during exercise and interference with everyday life. 65% of these women reported leaking once a week per more. 44.8% reported leakage during physical activity and exercise, and sport preference was a statistically significant predictor of urine leakage with exercise. We also found that multiparity was a statistically significant predictor of urine leakage outside of exercise. Women described double unders, deadlifting, running, jumping, front squats, cleans, and push press as offending movements, and found that they would either adjust or eliminate their training altogether if they had episodes that were repeated with these movement challenges with stress incontinence. And overall, women reported feeling annoyed, irritated, but then also agreed that stress incontinence was an acceptable side effect of training, especially at higher intensities. These women reported embarrassment, frustration, feeling hopeless, but then when asked about education, they felt like they were beyond pelvic floor muscle training and were hesitant to ask their OBGYNs or trainers for help. We're unable to really generalize these results to the female strength population because of our poor response rate, but we do find that these results are similar to those found in previous studies that stress incontinence is an issue within female athletes, but we do need more research. In conclusion, parous women are more likely to report stress incontinence than nulliparous women. Parity and hours of training are linked to urine leakage both during and outside of exercise, but some women will accept stress incontinence as a side effect of training. However, they're hesitant to ask for more from their physicians beyond pelvic floor muscle training. So the call to action that I challenge you with is to screen your female athletes. Unless you ask them about this issue, they're not going to open up to you about it. Thank you very much for your attention. Here's my contact information. I would love to engage in a dialogue if you are so inclined.